Hello, welcome to Stretford Enders and welcome to this Football Manager Manchester United career mode. I thought I'd try something different on the channel today. I know Football Manager games are not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm not just gonna sit here and play the Football Manager in silence. I will cover some United stories as well. I won't be doing this every day. Just going to be doing it just to cover empty content slots on the channel. As I said before, there's going to be lots of new content coming onto the channel over the coming weeks and months. Live football watch-alongs is going to be starting this Thursday, so I'm going to be doing a live football watch-along against Real Sociedad on Thursday. So tune in and give that live football watch-along a watch. It'll be going to be live around about 15 minutes before that game. And me and Gavin, we've got lots of content ideas in the pipeline. It's all going to be about when we're both going to have time to be able to do those. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here in silence and just play Football Manager. Just thought it'd be something different to see how well I do as a football fan on this kind of game. I've tried FIFA before, so just thought I'd try a bit something a bit different. So it's the first game against Burnley on this game. Just to cover a few United stories as well, I was reading today that Anthony Martial is back in training for United. He was back in training yesterday at Carrington, which is good news for United, because it does give us that extra the option up front. And I think it's going to be interesting what team Erik ten Hag puts out against Real Sociedad on Thursday, knowing that we've got to win that game to go top. I don't talk about that too much because me and Gavin have got things planned ahead of that game, so that we'll be covering that before kick-off on Thursday. But I think as a United fan, though, I actually feel, compared to where we were last season, I am a lot more confident when we go into games. I think some of the football that we've played this season, we didn't have a great start to the season, but since then, I do think that the performances have improved. Our performance against West Ham, as I mentioned on Sunday, it wasn't fantastic, but I think there was a lot of tiredness creeping into the game. I mean, when you're playing on a Thursday and you're playing on a Sunday over a couple of weeks, that's definitely going to happen. So I think tiredness has creeped in slightly, and you can't expect, even though as much as we want United to perform well every game, it doesn't always work like that. I think sometimes results are more important than the performances, and I think that's what it was on Sunday. I think the first half we created a lot more chances than we did in the second half. I think we allowed West Ham to play for too much on us in that second half. But defensively on Sunday, I thought we looked solid, and when you look at our defence, how much defensively we've improved this season it's a major boost. I think last season, defensively, we were really poor, and I do think that was one of the main reasons why we were losing too many games. I also read something today as well on Patrick Sever saying this could be Harry Maguire's last opportunity for Manchester United. Obviously, he come in for the injured Varane on Sunday against West Ham. He looked a bit. Looked. I don't think he was that fantastic in the first half, but the second half, I thought the second half against West Ham on Sunday, I thought he did really well. But I've talked about Harry Maguire so many times over the last 12 months, and my personal opinion on Harry Maguire. I'm not saying he's a terrible defender, because he did really well at Leicester City. I'm just not convinced at all that he's a Manchester United player. I think when you look at the performances he's put in for United over the last 12 months, some of the performances have been really poor. I think when he was playing at United, when he was consistently playing, and when he was consistently playing poor, I think he should have had the captain's armband stripped, because he wasn't having a good influence on the rest of the team at all. But in regards to Harry Maguire, everyone is going to look at this Harry Maguire differently. I've spoken to other United fans about this, and some have said that with a manager like Ten Hag, then he should be given a chance. But I think it's going to be difficult for Harry Maguire to get a run in this Manchester United team. He'll play from now to the World Cup with Varane being out, but I don't know if that's going to be guaranteed. So obviously we have got Lindelof, who can play there as well. But you feel when Varane is fully fit and he'll play off. We'll see Varane again after the World Cup. But I'm pretty much sure that Varane will come in straight back into this Manchester United team and play alongside Martinez. So I think it will be interesting to see whether Harry Maguire stays until the end of the season, and Erik ten Hag will use him as a backup, or whether he will be moved on in January. So I know that we've got a few options in that centre-back position, but I think, we don't want to be selling players in January and then not being able to replace them. So it may be a case where Harry Maguire is kept until the end of the season, and Erik ten Hag will rotate him if he feels that he needs to. And obviously then that would give Erik ten Hag more time to bring in somebody to replace Harry Maguire there as well. I mean, when you look at the transfer fee of Harry Maguire, was it 80 million? Liverpool, what did they they signed, was it Van Dijk for 75 million? And come from a United fan, Van Dijk is a much better centre back. When we paid 80 million for Harry Maguire, I think at the time, I think we were desperate. I think the Glazers were just throwing money about just to go and sign anyone. But again, those type of deals, I do think it comes down to poor handling by the board. Obviously, we know that Edward Woods was dealing with that side of thing. Thankfully, he's not anymore. Yeah, so just to touch you brief on Harry Maguire, he's not a terrible defender. I just don't think he's I just don't think he's a Manchester United defender. I think when you look at the centre backs that we've had down the years, Vidic, Ferdinand, and a few others, I think you can't put Harry Maguire in that same category as those type of the type of quality the type of quality centre backs that United had down the years. Like I say, he did really well at Leicester, but I think there was less pressure when he was at Leicester. I think when you come to a club of Manchester United size, there's a huge amount of pressure that comes with you as well. Obviously, as fans, we all know that some fans aren't as patient as others. There are some fans out there who expect a new player to come in and start performing straight away, and then there are some fans out there who know that with certain players it is going to take them a bit of time to settle in. I mean, when I watched Martinez, was it the first few games of the season, some of the stupid mistakes he was making, I was thinking, he's coming completely from a different league. He's not going to get away with it. The things he was doing, he wasn't going to. We knew he wasn't going to get away with it in the Premier League. So pretty sure that Everton has had a word with him with some of the things that he was doing. And I think since then, I think Martinez has looked strong in that defensive area. I think he's looked dominant. Watched him a few times on Sunday when the cameras were pointing towards him, and you could see him, send out instructions to the rest of his teammates. And I think that's the type of centre back that we need. it is definitely the centre back, the type of centre back that we need. Somebody who's not, somebody who's not afraid to scream at players if they're doing things. Scream at players if they're doing things wrong. Being a leader, in that defensive area as well. Did anyone leave a comment in the comment box below as well? Did anyone hear about that idiot Graham Souness has said about Casemiro and Martinez? Because when I was listening to what he was saying, I was just sitting there thinking, are you watching the same team that we're watching? Not right saying that he doesn't think that Casemiro is a good player, and he was criticising Martinez as well. Whether that's a bit of sourness, with how poor Liverpool are doing, possibly. How can he sit there and say that Casemiro isn't a good player, and criticise Martinez as well? Maybe Graham Souness just doesn't like the fact, that we've brought in some good we've brought in some good players. Maybe he knows, bringing these players is going to improve this Manchester United team. So maybe those comments we'll put out there just to unsettle Martinez and Casemiro. But I'm pretty sure, those comments in that there aren't going to be many people that are going to agree with him in regards to that. And then when you can see why United have brought in Casemiro to make that midfield look a bit stronger, and I think it, I think it definitely has worked. I've been pleased from what I've seen of Casemiro when he's come in and he's come into this Manchester United team. I feel he's done a very good job. The same with Martinez. I mean, again, going back to what I said a few minutes ago, when you look how poor we were defensively last season, and I think lots of people will agree. When you look at how strong the defense looks now. Yeah, I know that we conceded 6 goals against Man City, but I think a lot of football fans will agree. Man City are they're a million they are a million miles away from a lot of teams out there in England and Europe. They signed Haaland, and what a player he is. He's gonna go and break all kinds of records in the league in Europe. I would have loved him. They was at one point there was speculation of him possibly joining United, but it was. I don't think that would have, I don't think that ever would have happened. When you look at the quality of Erling Haaland, the quality of player he is, and United were struggling, and when you got other teams who would have been interested in him, and who you're going to choose. Yeah, but that game was it was hard to watch as a United fan. It was extremely hard to watch that game. The Manchester derby. The players didn't turn up at all in that game. But I think it was just it is one of those things that happens, but I think since then, since we lost to Man City, the football that we've played has improved. I'm not saying it's been fantastic. I still think there's gaps on where we need to improve in certain areas of the pitch, but that's going to come in time. Eric Ten Hag I'm sure is still looking at certain areas and seeing how we can improve. We are scoring from crosses now. I think we scored against a cross against West Ham on Sunday, and I believe that we scored from a cross against FC Sheriff on Thursday last week as well. So the fact that we're scoring from crosses is a positive. So I think that's something that we weren't doing at all last season. So obviously that's something that Eric Ten Hag has been working on with these United players. But I would say if there was one area that I think that we're still struggling, I think it is attack. I think when you look at the chances that we're creating, we are creating chances. I think one of the things that's letting us down at the moment, which I've covered before, is our finishing. because we have tried different players did before. Obviously, we've tried Anthony Martial there. I mean, there is potential, as has been said before on the channel, there is potential with Anthony Martial. But the vibes I get from Anthony Martial is that he turns it on when he wants to turn it on. And he's not really consistent enough. I think, when you look at that position, I think you are going to need a consistent goal scorer, especially in the Premier League. Yes, you are going to have you're going to have times where that player is going to have bad games, and they're not going to be no player. I can't think of any player that's consistent for all throughout the season. Haaland is going to have a bit of inconsistency at Man City at some point throughout the season. He's going to have games where he doesn't score, but that just comes with football. But I think the point that I'm trying to make is that we're creating chances, but we haven't got that finisher as such who can goal score 25-30 goals a season. I also read something about Anthony. So I think he didn't play against West Ham on Sunday, and there was a few rumours that he didn't play because what he did against FC Sheriff last Thursday in the Europa League, trying to do a silly trick. And Eric Ten Hag didn't like what he did, so he was brought off. I think some people thought he was dropped because of that, but the story I've read is Eric Ten Hag come out and said no, he picked up a bit of an injury, and he said hopefully it wasn't too bad, and he should be available for the next couple of days. But I knew he hadn't been dropped because of that. He shouldn't have done it, because there was no reason behind it to do it. But I'm pretty sure Eric Ten Hag would have had a word with him and said, what were what were you doing out there? There's no need to be doing things like that. Eric Ten Hag has worked with Anthony, so they know each other well. Do you remember to smash a like on the live stream if you've enjoyed watching the live streams this afternoon? Also leave your comments in the comment box below. Let me know what you thought about the stream. I haven't talked about too much about this about the Football Manager games. Obviously, I've been covering other United news as well. Won that game 1-0. I know these games are they're not, the Football Manager games are not the most enjoyable games to watch. I know there's some people out there who do enjoy watching them to see how well people do on them. And I know there's the people out there who just see them as pointless. Like I said, when I do them, I won't sit here in silence and just play the game. I'll cover as much United news as I can in the streams as well. I think I've actually covered quite a bit on the stream this afternoon. Like I said, I'm looking forward to doing the live football watch along against Wales Sausage Yards on Thursday night. So please do join in on Thursday and support me and give that a watch. Obviously, I will put my own commentary on it, and I'll probably rant if things don't go our way. Also, let us know in the comment box below if you want us to cover other content such as the academy and the under-23s. I mean, if there's times where I'm able to do a live commentary on a live watch along on an under 23s game, and then done it well, just to see how that goes. So I'm currently 11th in the league, so I've won two out of 5. I think I may have to change the formation on this game, so I think the formation I've gone with, I don't think it's working for me at all. And hopefully me and Gavin are going to be doing a quiz, United quiz soon. Who knows more about Manchester United? I'm sure that will be good fun. I think Ronaldo saved at this game, scoring as the winning goal. Well, going on to penalties in the Carabao Cup. Oh, great. So that is bringing an end to this football manager Man United career mode. Hope you've enjoyed watching. Like I say, I know football manager games not everyone's cup of tea, but I think I've put my own spin on it. Talked about what's going on with United over the course of the day, and I've covered a few different stories. So I try to make it as interesting as I possibly can. Smash a like on the live stream if you enjoyed watching. Leave your comments in the comment box below. Let me know what you thought. I'll be back on Thursday to do the match day look ahead with Gavin on Thursday, and I'll also be live on the channel to do the live football watch along against Real Sociedad on Thursday. So make sure you tune in and give that a watch. Thank you all for watching. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.